This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This reading by Fox and the Stars of ShiningHalf.com, April 2006. The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey CHAUCER. Edited by D. Laing Purves. This reading is based on the book The Canterbury Tales and Other Poems. The original text contains poems by Chaucer and a lot of notes and explanations by the editor. To view these, please click on the Gutenberg eText link on the LibriVox catalog page of The Canterbury Tales. The Prioress's Tale. The Prologue. Well said, by Corpus Domini, quoth our host. Now longe mayst thou sail aby the coast, thou gentle master, gentle marineer. God give the monk 1,000 last quad year. Aha, fellows, beware of such a jape. The monk put in the manneshood an ape, and in his wife is eke by Saint Austin. Drawing no monk is more into your inn. But now pass over, and let us seek about. Who shall now telle first of all this rout another tale? And with that word he said, as courteously as it had been a maid, My lady Prioresse, by your leave, so that I wist I shoulde you not grieve, I woulde deem that ye telle should a tale next, if so were that ye would. Now will ye vouchesafe, my lady dear? Gladly, quoth she, and said as ye shall hear. The Tale. O Lord, our Lord, thy name how marvellous in this large world y spread, quoth she, for not only thy laude precious performed is by men of high degree, but by the mouth of children thy bounty performed is, for on the breast sucking sometimes showe they thy harrying. Wherefore in laud, as I best can or may, of thee and of the white lily flower, which that thee bare and is a maid alway, to tell a story I will do my labor, not that I may increase her honor, for she herselven is honor and root of bounty next her son and soule's boot. O mother maid, O maid and mother free, O bush unburnt, burning in Moses' sight, that ravishtest down from the deity, through thy humbless, the ghost that in thee light, of whose virtue, when he thine hearte light conceived was, the Father's sapience, help me to tell it to thy reverence. Lady, thy bounty, thy magnificence, thy virtue, and thy great humility, there may no tongue express in no science. For sometimes, lady, ere men pray to thee, thou goest before of thy benignity, and gettest us the light through thy prayere, to guiden us unto thy Son so dear. My conning is so weak, O blissful queen, for to declare thy great worthiness, that I may not the weight of it sustene, but as a child of 12 month old or less, that can unnethes any word express. Right so fare I, and therefore I you pray, guide my song that I shall of you say. There was in Asia, in a great city, amonges Christian folk a Jewery, sustained by a lord of that country, for foul usure and lucre of villainy, hateful to Christ and to his company. And through the street men mighte ride and wend, for it was free and open at each end. A little school of Christian folk there stood down at the farther end, in which there were children and heap y come of Christian blood, that learned in that schole year by year such manner doctrine as men used there, that is to say, to singen and to read, as smalle children do in their childheed. Among these children was a widow's son, a little clergian 7 year of age, that day by day to schole was his won, and eke also, whereso he saw th' image of Christe's mother, had he in usage, as him was taught to kneel adown and say, Ave Maria as he went by the way. Thus had this widow her little son y-taught, our blissful Lady Christe's mother dear, to worship aye, and he forgot it not, for silly child will always soon aleer. But I, when I remember on this mattere, Saint Nicholas stands ever in my presence, for he so young to Christ did reverence. This little child his little book learning, as he sat in the school at his primere, he Alma Redemptoris hearde sing, as children learned their antiphonere. And as he durst, he drew him near and near, and hearkened aye the wordes and the note, till he the firste verse knew all by rote. Naught wist he what this Latin was to say, for he so young and tender was of age. But on a day his fellow gan he pray to expound him this song in his language, or tell him why this song was in usage. Thus prayed he him to construe and declare, full oftentime upon his knees bare. His fellow, which that elder was than he, answered him thus: this song I have heard say was maked of our blissful Lady free, her to salute and eke her to pray, to be our help and succor when we dey. I can no more expound in this mattere, I learn a song, I know but small grammere. And is this song y made in reverence of Christe's mother? Said this innocent. Now certes I will do my diligence to con it all ere Christmas be went. Though that I for my primer shall be shent, and shall be beaten thrice in an hour, I will it con our Lady to honour. His fellow taught him homeward privily, from day to day, till he could it by rote, and then he sang it well and boldely, from word to word according with the note. Twice in a day it passed through his throat, to schooleward and homeward when he went. On Christ's mother was set all his intent. As I have said, throughout the Jewery, this little child as he came to and fro, full merrily then would he sing and cry, O Alma Redemptoris evermo'. The sweetness hath his hearte pierced so of Christe's mother, that to her to pray he cannot stint of singing by the way. Our firste foe, the serpent Satanas, that hath in Jewe's heart his waspe's nest, upswelled and said, O Hebrew people, alas! Is this to you a thing that is honest, that such a boy shall walken as him lest, in your despite, and sing of such sentence, which is against your lawes reverence? From thenceforth the Jewes have conspired this innocent out of the world to chase. A homicide thereto have they hired, that in an alley had a privy place. And as the child gan forth by for to pace, this cursed Jew him hent and held him fast, and cut his throat, and in a pit him cast. I say that in a wardrobe he him threw, whereas the Jewes purged their entrail. O cursed folk, O Herodes all new, what may your evil intent you avail? Murder will out, certain it will not fail, and namely where th' honour of God shall spread, the blood outcrieth on your cursed deed. O martyr souded to virginity, now mayst thou sing and follow everin one the white lamb celestial, quoth she, of which the great evangelist Saint John in Patmos wrote, which saith that they that gon before this lamb and sing a song all new, that never fleshly woman they ne knew. This poore widow waited all that night after her little child, but he came not. For which, as soon as it was dayes light, with face pale, in dread and busy thought, she hath at school and elleswhere him sought, till finally she gan so far espy that he was last seen in the Jewery. With mother's pity in her breast enclosed, she went as she were half out of her mind, to every place where she hath supposed by likelihood her little child to find. And ever on Christ's mother meek and kind she cried, and at the laste thus she wrought, among the cursed Jewes she him sought. She freined and she prayed piteously to every Jew that dwelled in that place, to tell her if her childe went thereby. They saide nay, but Jesus of his grace gave in her thought within a little space, that in that place after her son she cried, where he was cast into a pit beside. O greate God, that performest thy laud, by mouth of innocence, lo here thy might, this gem of chastity, this emerald, and eke of martyrdom the ruby bright, where he with throat y-carven lay upright, he Alma Redemptoris gan to sing, so loud that all the place began to ring. The Christian folk that through the streete went, in came for to wonder on this thing, and hastily they for the provost sent. He came anon without a tarrying, and harried Christ that is of heaven King, and eke his mother, honor of mankind, and after that the Jewes let he bind. With torment and with shameful death each one, the provost did these Jewes for to sterve, that of this murder wist, and that anon. He woulde no such cursedness observe. Evil shall have that evil will deserve. Therefore with horses wild he did them draw, and after that he hung them by the law. The child with piteous lamentation was taken up, singing his song alway, and with honor and with great procession they carry him unto the next abbey. His mother swooning by the bier lay, unnethes might the people that were there this newe Rachel bringe from his bier. Upon his bier lay this innocent, before the altar while the masses last, and after that th' abbot and his convent have sped them for to bury him full fast. And when they holy water on him cast, yet spake this child when sprinkled was the water, and sang, O Alma Redemptoris Mater. This abbot, which that was a holy man, as monkes be, or elles ought to be, this younger child to conjure he began, and said, O deare child, I halse thee, in virtue of the Holy Trinity, tell me what is thy cause for to sing, since that thy throat is cut, to my seeming. My throat is cut unto my necke bone, saide this child, and as by way of kind, I should have died, yea, long time agone, but Jesus Christ, as ye in bookes find, will that his glory last and be in mind, and for the worship of his mother dear, yet may I sing, O Alma, loud and clear. This well of mercy, Christe's mother sweet, I loved alway after my conning, and when that I my life should forlete, to me she came and bade me for to sing this anthem verily in my dying, as ye have heard, and when that I had sung, methought she laid a grain upon my tongue. Wherefore I sing, and sing I must certain, in honor of that blissful maiden free, till from my tongue off taken is the grain, and after that thus saide she to me, My little child, then will I fetche thee, when that the grain is from thy tongue take, be not aghast, I will thee not forsake. This holy monk, this abbot him mean I, his tongue out caught and took away the grain, and he gave up the ghost full softely, and when this abbot had this wonder seen, his salte teares trickled down as rain, and groff he fell all flat upon the ground, and still he lay as he had been y-bound. The convent lay eke on the pavement, weeping and harrying Christ's mother dear, and after that they rose, and forth they went, and took away this martyr from his bier, and in a tomb of marble stones clear enclosed they his little body sweet, where he is now, God lean us for to meet. O younge Hugh of Lincoln, slain also, with cursed Jews, as it is notable, for it is but a little while ago, pray eke for us, we sinful folk unstable, that of his mercy God so merciable, on us his greate mercy multiply, for reverence of his mother Mary. End of the Prioress's tale.